Hey everybody, welcome back to another live Tip Tuesday. This is episode number 7. And yes, we've made it this far and I've got a lot more tips for you. So I am going to jump right in to it, and I've got something special for you at the end, with tip number 1 being a cheap outdoor restroom. How to make that happen, and here it is. Basically, that question was asked earlier this week, and my answer was you can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, or a camping store and get a topper for a 5-gallon bucket. You can buy a 5-gallon bucket with a little toilet lid that will fit right on top of the 5-gallon bucket. There's also this blue porta potty juice that you put in there, and that is your toilet. Then for privacy, you can build a shelter really cheap with PVC pipe and fittings, and then wrap that in a tarp, leave the roof open for light and air and whatnot, and there's a cheap outdoor bathroom for you. I actually priced getting an outdoor bathroom put into my existing shed. It was $30,000. And that was just right off the cuff. Sure, that probably would have increased the value of my house a little bit, but $30,000 was a hard pill to swallow. So instead, what I did, since we have lots of parties, lots of people over, I actually rented an event-style porta potty. It cost $98 per month. Had it for the entire month. I actually had it for 6 months. An event-style porta potty. It was super clean, not like the porta potties that you would find on a construction site. And they actually came out and cleaned it every week for that $98 price. There's fancier ones that you can get, but I just did the $98 version, and it worked great for us. Also went to Home Depot, I think it was, and got some battery powered motion operated lights and put them around the top, because we did a lot of night swimming, and when people went in there, they could see what they were doing. They could see to handle their business, if you know what I mean. So porta potty, very, very good option, and they're easy to find. Everybody has them. So I hope that answers that question for you. That was a lifesaver for us. The second one, I don't want to talk about. Didn't want to talk about it because it's been talked about to death. But my wife said that I had to, and judging from everybody's Facebook comments and posts, got to bring this up again. Don't use magic erasers in your swimming pools. Do not put them in your skimmer. This came up a lot because just recently a lady posted, hey, she said she gets one of these very small, cheap little Intex filters that you buy at Walmart. She stuffs the center with a magic eraser. Then she puts the whole thing in a skimmer sock, and she drops that in her skimmer. And she replaces the magic eraser about once per week. For those of you who are in the know, the reason why I'm laughing is because this is ridiculous, and it's been proven time and time again. For those of you who don't know, let me tell you why this is a problem. A magic eraser is nothing more than a melamine sponge. You can get them super cheap off of the internet if you wanted to buy them for household use, which they're fine for. The problem becomes when you put it in swimming pool water. Swimming pool water contains something called cyanuric acid, commonly called CYA, conditioner, or stabilizer. Yep, that's the other term that they use. But it creates a chemical when the melamine and the cyanuric acid combine called melamine cyanurate, which is toxic. It's toxic to algae, which is the reason why it's effective at killing algae. It's also toxic to us, human beings, which means that if you get in a water, a pool that people are using these things in, you could potentially get sick. Now, I did have someone bring up that you would have to drink a lot of swimming pool water that had the melamine I can't even speak. This is live. I can't edit this out. Melamine cyanurate in it that you would have to drink a bunch of it. That might be true, but why would you risk it? It's, now that you know, it's dumb. It's dumb. Tired of talking about it. But I'm going to talk about it in two more things right after this next one. Dennis answered a question on a Facebook post, and his answer was great. And this person asked something to the effect of, "What do I do with my pool when I'm planning on going to Scotland for 2 to 3 weeks, or when I'm planning on being out of town for 2 to 3 weeks, or when no one is swimming?" Dennis, pool care does not change just because you don't use it. You use less chemicals, maybe, but the process is the same. Dennis is absolutely right. I could not have put it in better words myself. So it doesn't matter whether you are out of the country, whether you're not using it, whether it's freezing out and you don't want to go swimming, the process is the same. The pool's needs doesn't change whether you're using it or not. I maintain my pool all winter long, even though I'm not swimming in it, because the pool's needs are still there. I've had customers that are literally disabled and are physically incapable of getting from their house to their pool. They could have with help from people, but I literally had a customer, that particular customer, who hadn't swam in their pool for like 4 years. But the process is still the same. If you're planning on going out of the country, hire a pool company to help you out. Next one, number 4. The question was, what is the best tool to use for your water line or the bathtub ring around your pool, the tile line? This one's actually pretty easy. However, a lot of people answered with use magic erasers. So go back and re-listen to the number 2 if you didn't get that on why you don't want to use that. So what do you use? Well, weekly you should be scrubbing it with your pool pole and brush, just kind of going around the outside edges and scrubbing it off. But if you still get that scum line, what pool professionals use is a Scotch-Brite pad like this, and we use a gel. It is a gel specifically made for cleaning the tile line on pools. And these can go on 2 different things. There's probably more, but 2 different things. There is a handle that has like Velcro, and you stick it to it, and you can walk around the pool with your hand and just kind of scrub it off. I don't like that because I have to get down on my knees and go all the way around the pool. They make something, and I'm going to try to link this in the YouTube description, where this will go on the end of a pole, so you don't have to get down there. You just pick the pole up, drizzle your juice, your towel cleaner on your Scotch-Brite pad, and go around the entire outside edge of your pool. There's also something called magic mitten, or what do they have here? Manatee mitten. It's basically a rubber glove with a bunch of little spikes on it. It looks like the type of glove that you would use to pet your dog or cat to get the fur off. You can use that too, and that works just as well. Number 5. This is one near and dear to my heart, because if you don't heed this one, you can get hurt or dead, and I don't want to see that happen to anybody who is watching this, or anybody, period. Customer asked, this came from Kevin. Kevin's customer asked, can we remove the GFCI to make our pool lights work? And the answer to that is no. GFCI, for those of you who don't know, that is ground fault circuit interrupt. I'm going to get it right. Let me get some drink so I won't stumble over my words. This is most commonly seen in bathrooms. So if you have an outlet in a bathroom, it is a GFCI outlet. And it is also on pool lights. It's code to have it on basically anything with your pool now. Your pumps, your heaters, definitely your pool lights. And what it does is it gives you an extra layer of protection from being electrocuted. Which, for those of you who don't know, everybody who's watching this does, obviously. But for those of you that don't know, that's a bad thing. So you have your circuit breaker, which is like a 15 amp, and that's your kind of first line, and then you have the ground fault interrupt. That is very sensitive. If that senses water or something like that, because you have 120 volts going into your pool to power that light. So if water gets into that, water makes contact with that, you have some dangerous stuff going on. Had a customer once swimming in the pool, perfectly fine, but then when they went to go to the edge of the pool and they touched the edge of the pool, they got shocked. So that one happened to be some ground current issues, and we were able to figure out where that was and knock it out. So this one is, no, you do not take your GFCI out. And if your pump, your light, whatever you have, does not have a GFCI, go out, get one, hire somebody to put it in, or you can do it if you want to take on that risk and put it in. They are stupid cheap. Stupid cheap. Less than $100 for a normal 110 volt GFCI. I think it's less than $180 for a 220, which is what your pump would be running on. Stupid cheap, cover your butt type of deal. Less than $200, you can have your butt covered. And last, whatever you do, always give it 100%, unless you're donating blood. Bill Murray. Thanks for watching. See you next week.